Hey everyone, my name is Mitch Dyer. Welcome to IGN Arena episode, I think it's 21. Miranda Sanchez, you said it's 21. I'm putting all my faith in you. Welcome.
Hi, yeah, I was on episode 20. It's my first episode.
Awesome. Welcome back. Please get closer to your mic. I worry. Kyle O'Connor, welcome back as well.
Hello.
Brian Albert, you're also back. Happy
What's
New Year.
up, everybody?
Okay, there's a little bit of a sustain there. All right, I'm into it. Sean Finnegan, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Your presence inevitably means that we're going to talk about Counter-Strike, which is good because I think people are tired of us talking about Dota, which we're also going to talk about.
Fact, Counter-Strike is good.
Okay, yeah, that is a fact.
We can agree with that.
I think I reviewed that game once upon a time.
What?
I think I reviewed Counter-Strike Go.
Were you freelancing?
No, I was an employee
Definitely
when that
did
game.
do it. I remember sending you an email being like, "This is a really well-written review. Thanks, Mitch." And you were like, "I should not have reviewed this game."
They said, "Hey, can you review Counter-Strike Go?" And I was like, "I mean, I've played Counter-Strike. I'm bad at Counter-Strike." And they're like, "Good enough. Have fun."
That's sort of what happened with me in Warframe. Like, Eric Sapp in Office is like Warframe
Yeah.
guru. And I'm like, I don't know as much as that guy does, but okay. Yeah, I got this. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. It went fine. The review is okay. I'm pretty okay.
It's
with
up on the site.
it. Yeah, you can read it now.
it.
Also, can we talk about the fact that game is still like an Xbox game for some reason? Like, does anybody play Counter-Strike on Xbox?
Warframe? Oh.
No.
I was like,
No.
what is
Come on. Yeah, Counter-Strike Go came
Yeah,
out for
Counter-Strike
Xbox.
Go is on consoles. In fact, if you talk to Alfredo, he played it mostly on console.
Why?
I don't know. It's just I can't
He's
imagine
afraid of
having to do
keyboards.
I've always
and
thought
mice.
of it as a PC thing. It's always
that. Counter-Strike is
been my
definitely a
It's a
PC.
PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play it on console.
It is
do.
certainly playable. It's like, I remember when Valve revealed the Steam controller. The big thing was like, oh, you can play it like it's got the two thumb things, so it's like good for shooters. People are like, yo, can you play Dota with this? And they're like, I mean, you can play, but you can't really win. And I really like, I still accept that as a challenge. And if Steam machines ever come out in an alternate universe where they still exist, I really want to play a 10-man game of
I'm
Dota
not
with
playing with
controllers. Don't be a baby.
Does not happen.
Don't
Let's
be
do
a
it.
baby, Brian.
Death Ball Mid 5. Let's go.
So Happy New Year. Welcome back, everybody. I'm really glad to have you.
It's 2015.
Yeah, which means that we are obligated to do 52 shows, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully we hit that mark. We missed a few weeks because we happen to be busy. You're actually going to be out around the time this episode goes live.
I'm leaving. I'm going to
Why?
Atlanta, Georgia, because I'm going to see the Smite World Championships.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
jelly.
You gonna play that game?
I'm going to play that video game.
Okay, on Xbox One.
Yes.
I'm gonna play the heck out of
Xbox
it.
Okay.
One. And they're going to show it off there, and we get to write about it. We're going to have some video on the site, some previews. It's going to be great.
Okay. So we've talked about this like a little bit, but I wonder, like, I don't know, maybe this is a topic better reserved for next week when you play it, but like, do we think that Smite is going to be is this year going to be Smite's year?
I'd probably like to talk about that next week.
Okay.
more
We'll
so.
revisit that
Yeah.
because I think
I'm
that's
gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
All
I
right.
wanna throw that in.
Kyle's decided. I mean,
Wow.
we talked about it a little bit in as much as we are excited about it and we think it could be good on Xbox, but it remains to be seen whether or not it's actually going to get the attention that they want it to.
I think it's gonna do like crazy well on the Xbox.
I hope so.
I feel like the controls are gonna translate really well to a controller, and the fact that Xbox One has well, I know PS4 has it as well, but you can just stream instantly, and that's gonna go really well. And considering
Yes.
MOBAs are really heavily streamed, and I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna play that
Okay.
crap out of it.
Okay.
We might actually.
Hmm?
Oh, go
Play
ahead.
together.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
down.
An IGN freelancer, Brandon Tyrell,
Yes.
has played like 3,500 games.
It's ridiculous.
So
Wow.
I don't
think
have
that-
him
that-
on as a special guest for an episode.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring him in after he and Brian play a bunch of it. We're going to see how that goes. We're going to come back and talk about a different MOBA for the first time in a long time. This year, we're also going to get better at
Welcome,
like
everyone.
playing more. I really want to get us playing more stuff like Gigantic and Dead Island, stupid Zomba game.
There's not much
and-
about Gigantic out there yet, is there?
Not really.
Okay.
Adventure Time Battle Party.
That's a real game. Crispy will play that game with us.
Do it. Let's do it.
'Kay.
Come on.
I mean, we gotta talk about more games, Brian.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
true.
MOBA. Just do it. It's
Three
fine.
more
MOBAs than
Sorry,
League
you were
and
gonna
MOBAs.
say something.
I just wanted to say that this Smite World Championship has a $2.5 million prize pool.
That's
Where did that
impressive.
come
What?
from?
That
Where
is-
did that come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, two questions.
Like, this is like only the
Yes.
second time I've heard of the game Smite. The first time being on this podcast a couple weeks ago or
Yeah.
months ago.
The second time, welcome back to the
$2.5
podcast.
million prize pool. Is
Yeah.
that like a community funded thing, like the Dota Championship?
I don't think it is because I don't think that prize pool can grow. Like
Who
they
is
don't
giving
have.
Well-
this amount of money?
Is it making money? Did it make that much money last year?
I don't
we
know.
know.
That's what I'm
embarrassing
confused about, 'cause
Investigate.
I am-
You're
so-
gonna see them. Find out.
So that's what I have a really crappy late flight like that leaves at midnight
Oh.
Great.
to Atlanta. So basically after work, it's just like play Smite and read about this tournament for 6 hours and go to the airport. But the prize pool has like it's like 2,500,634. So like I feel like it's growing somehow because that number is dumb, right?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Next week is the Smite cast.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really fun game. I played it a bunch of times, and it upsets me that I couldn't devote more time to it. Because I'm like, I'm at my computer, but I want to be playing.
Yeah, I mean, we
League."
dabbled. We did an episode. We had a guest, and I thought it was fine. Smite was okay. It didn't wow me in any way, but I'm excited more that game's coming to consoles, and we should play some this weekend
Yep. let's
while
do it.
Brian is AFK.
Yay! All right,
Yeah.
Smite.
All right.
Yay,
coming up.
FK.
So let's get to our topics.
liked it.
Let's get to our topics. Topic number 1 for everybody here. I just published an article on IGN.com where many of you two are in it, or you will be when I update it because I forgot.
It's the worst.
So I asked a bunch of our regular Dota crew, like, what are your 2015 New Year's resolutions for Dota 2? Like, do you want to get better? Do you want to be nicer? Do you want to be happier? Like, what are you going to do this year? No, you don't want to do any of those things. No. Play less. Don't play Dota anymore. Be miserable. I asked everyone what their New Year's resolution was, and I want to apply that to everyone here so you guys go over yours, and then we can talk about, generally, like, the games that you play the most. What is your New Year's resolution in those games? Kyle.
Mine. Oh man, my New Year's resolution for League is gonna have to obviously I'd like to have the game make me less angry because the game makes me really really angry.
You told me a
We're also
rage
gonna
moment
talk-
you had.
Yeah, I had a really bad rage moment. It was embarrassing.
I kind of want to save that because next week, one of the topics I have written down is like how to play these games that make us angry and be happier.
Yeah,
Bank that. Let's return to
Okay.
that next week.
Yeah, because
But
you've been
I'll
talking
just-
to me about that too recently.
I'll just
Yeah.
preface it with that I was really angry. Like I had to get up and go do something else.
Man.
Yeah.
Have you destroyed a mouse or keyboard?
Oh yeah.
No.
I've broken keyboards and not with League, but with World of Warcraft arenas. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. That's
Arenas.
my wow joke.
If anyone's played arenas, like can be some of the most frustrating things in the world.
Huh.
I've broken one controller in my life. God of War spinning blades.
Oh yeah.
God of War 2.
Yeah.
Mine would have been
I thought it was the first one. Maybe not.
They're in both
the
of
Rock
those
Show in Amplitude on PS2. The Blink-182 song. Did anyone play that? You guys never played
That is a
Amplitude?
hyper. Yeah, I have. It's
Amplitude
I just
is-
did not expect this example in
That
any
is-
way.
That's
That's where I
the
come
only
from, too.
controller I've ever broken in my life. I was so angry I hurled it across the room and it shattered into like a million pieces. I got to 98% on that song twice and then failed.
Oh.
Which
Well,
is like
Travis Barker survived a
basically-
plane crash, so y'all both got
There
problems.
you go, yeah.
Oh,
Didn't
man.
he survive 2 plane crashes?
That
I don't
doesn't sound
know.
real.
I know. It didn't sound real when he survived that first one.
So as far as we know, he's immortal.
Yes.
Let's reel this back in.
Okay,
yeah,
So you want to be
resolution.
nice to people.
No. I want to
No,
say
you
that
want-
would be my.
You want to be
main
nicer
one.
to yourself.
Yeah, I want to get better at my solo carry abilities.
Okay.
And I think that has to do with the fact that I like playing support, so I'm gonna have to try and learn or get better at playing an aggressive support that can really carry.
I'm the same way. Like I play mostly support. Like when we started doing the recreational stuff, we needed a hard support player to, someone to buy wards and do all the support things. So I did that, and that's kind of become my role naturally. And I like it a lot. I love doing
Yeah.
it, but I really do want to start branching out. It's created really bad habits in me when I do try to carry. Like I played Sven the other night, and I played an Outworld Devourer, and I was buying wards. I'm like, what am I doing? That's not how this works.
But the worst thing is when you're not support and you have like someone who's new to playing support and they don't know where to put the wards, and then a little bit inside you dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
the
just.
worst.
same
But I
with-
know that was me at once upon a
Yeah,
time.
yeah, once upon a time, but now it's not.
Isn't that the problem with solo playing? Is like
Yeah.
if you play carry, you lose because your supports are bad, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna play support, and then you support the hell out of the team, but your carries are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get last
You
hits.
can't win.
Basically, everyone's bad but you.
You
Anytime
need
I-
to you need to
Yeah.
5Q or else you're not gonna win.
That's how I play Dota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just won't. If we have 4, you're like, I'm out. Like
Yep.
you will not join us
I will
anymore.
not.
You will not play with randoms.
Nope.
And this is
Damn
not like
pugs.
this is not like a resolution or anything, but like I do want to generally start playing more ranked solo stuff. Even though I hate it, I have a bad time every time. But like I want to brute force that until I have fun, like I did with the rest of Dota.
Great.
So
Actually, that's what you do.
yeah, you
That's
just
how you learn
Yeah.
a MOBA, yeah.
so hopefully that's in my future. We'll
I
see.
had some good luck with solo rank queuing over the break. Like I got 2 really good games. My teams were really nice, super supportive. Like I played support, of course, but we won. So
All right,
start off good for me.
bodes well.
Your resolution is not in the article because Mitch is awful.
I goofed it.
What's your
It's
resolution?
okay. So my resolution is to stop playing support.
Wow, just
But-
done. You're done.
Why?
Yeah, I don't want to play support. So I feel like I'm sorry.
In League and Dota?
I'm sorry. Just this This is just for Dota.
Oh, okay.
League, I have a different resolution. But for
Okay.
Dota particularly, I want to stop playing support because...
You gotta get
Sean
like,
is
right up
adjusting
on
her
it.
Sorry.
friend's mic. It's
I
great.
have to make out. Okay.
Make out with the mic.
Yeah. Best friend.
Best friends.
Ugh.
But I want to stop playing support because that's all I do, and I kind of fall in that role a lot. I play like the same few supports because they're super great with all
Dazzle,
lineups
Jakiro,
always.
Your
Jakiro-
Old Faithfuls.
Jakiro fits with anything.
Yeah.
So I've gotten really good at them, but I want to play something new. And my friend Sean has been saying, Marita, stop it.
That one
That
right
guy
there.
right here.
His friend Sean right here.
Different Sean, but it's okay.
I don't play Dota.
Let's change that.
I played a lot of. I've told these guys before. I played a lot of the original Dota, and then when, like, basically I played a lot of Heroes of Newerth after that when there was no Dota 2, and then I played a little bit of Dota 2, and it was just too different and too just I don't know.
Oh, it's
very-
way different now.
Yeah.
They've like
Well, that's
changed
the
the
thing
map
is, it's
and the ward
gone.
locations.
I have a bunch of
and-
people who I hang out with on Mumble who, all they do is play Dota, all they do is talk about Dota, and I'm just like, I can't get into this.
I
now.
remember when you were playing, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe longer, you play Wind Ranger all the time.
I love Wind Ranger.
You should
That's
play her
one of
now.
my favorite because
She
I love
is-
heroes that have skill shots.
Sean,
Yeah.
she is
Skill shot.
so good right
Really?
now.
Because
she's
she used to
amazing.
be, like, pretty bad.
No, she's amazing right
She's pretty
now.
Yeah,
good
she's
Okay, cool.
She just got buffed. The range on her power shot is
It's like
stupid.
double what it
It's
used to be.
so dumb.
So I remember, like, I played Wind Ranger for a good couple of months, and then no one told me that the ability that shackles
Yeah.
units together could be cast on units behind your target, and it would still shackle them, and it changed everything. Because I remember,
You can
like,
shackle a creep and still get a hero.
yeah, like I remember always trying to land the most difficult shackles and being like, well, this is super hard. How does anyone ever do this
No.
reliably? And
You
it's
just gotta think
because
about it
there's
as
an
an
easier way to do
You
it.
got to think about it as an AOE. It
Yeah.
doesn't present it that way because it's targeted, but it is like a little bit of an AOE shackle.
Yeah, and so coming to that conclusion, I was like, my God, I've like ascended a level.
This
It's
changes
like,
everything, so I'm gonna stop playing altogether.
Exactly. Well, it's just that game is one of those games where you gotta really invest time and have a
Yeah.
crew of people who enjoy it because otherwise
Hey,
it's not
buddy.
gonna be
He's a
fun.
crew.
So you
I'm
play.
gonna get you guys into Counter Strike.
You
Yeah,
tried,
I
and we
just got it.
James and
Let's do
I
that.
failed miserably.
it.
I
It was
wanna
awful.
play.
We were so
that
bad.
was not your fault or James's fault
Yeah, we-
entirely. It was
we
like
queued into-
chat's fault.
Well, we also we had no chat. We queued into like your MMR.
Yeah, that was.
Which
I
is
dragged
bad.
them up to like badge level, and they were.
We were
not
not
having
ready.
a good time.
we were not ready. So you play a lot of Counter Strike. I want to know your resolution. Tell me your
so
Counter-Strike
my
goals.
Counter-Strike resolution is to it's kind of twofold. It's either to stop playing with my friends and play with better players, or to not get angry at my friends for being bad.
Okay.
This is like one of these things where my friends, they play Counter-Strike casually, and I do too, but I'm really, really competitive.
Yeah.
And I've been playing Counter-Strike my whole life, so I am pretty decent at it. And there's nothing more frustrating than, like, I'm sitting looking at a particular angle, and then someone comes up behind me and shoots me, and I'm like, how did that guy get there?
Where's the
No one
support,
said
bro?
anything? Like,
Yeah.
were you not watching my back? Because you're there on my radar. Like, I thought you were watching it. And it's just like, I get angry at them for like looking at the ground or like over rotating or like.
I don't even know what that means. You can
there's-
never play with me.
Well, there's like there are very small. So there's usually two sites on each map, right? There's an A bomb site and a B bomb site, and you split up your counter terrorists to defend both bomb sites. Now, when the terrorists start pushing one site, you rotate players over to support.
Oh.
But teams will fake, right? They'll fake a rush, and then your counter terrorists will all rush over to one site to support it, and then like the bomb
Bomb
gets
carrier
planted
goes-
at
yeah.
the other one.
I would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
The part where you mess up, I would do that for.
Oh, I thought you meant
The
the fake out.
over-rotation, Yeah.
No, the mess
So
up.
that's my
I'm
resolution.
pretty
Get
good
less
about
angry.
sticking in one place. I think I'll be good at Counter Strike.
Yeah, for sure.
Good at
I mean,
camping.
a lot of.
Not camping, but strategically staying in one place.
Exactly. It's not camping. It's
No,
defending.
you actually have to stay
Patrolling,
there
as
and
it
defend.
were.
It's like search and destroy in Call of Duty. Like everyone just like, oh, let's go
I'm-
run. And it's
I'm a
like, no.
patroller.
Yeah,
for sure.
no,
Stop.
you're a savage.
That's you can't play Counter
And it
Strike
makes
like Call
Arthur
of Duty.
mad.
It's so infuriating.
So that's
Alright.
my resolution.
I like how there are many options for what you could do, and none of them were like help my friends get better.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like I'm not convinced my friends want to get better. Like
I know how that feels.
I will
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, dude, this is what you should have done, and they're like, don't tell me how to play, and I'm like, okay, well,
All right,
if
you
you want to
suck.
keep losing, then that's cool by me. But
can
it's
do that
not,
in
'cause
that
I
other am
am the one who
queue.
loses as a result.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes I'm that person though, so I understand. It's like just don't tell me to play. I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Well,
It's
that's I do the same thing. Like
You get in weird headspaces when you're in a competitive game.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in Counter-Strike where everything happens so moment to moment.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're the last person alive, all four of your teammates are watching you play.
Yeah.
And I hate like messing up a play and then having the rest of the team be like, well, you should have done this. And I was like, well, you should have done it, but you couldn't because you were dead.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's my favorite thing is somebody's like, get back. I'm like, all right, I don't need
Yeah.
your advice from the grave.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly.
Like, back down.
Backseat gaming really drives me nuts.
Yeah. Like, you now have the time to soak all of this in because you literally aren't doing anything. You're contributing nothing. Thank you. Brian,
What's up?
did you tell me your resolution?
I did.
Did you?
It's in the article.
No, I mean here today with our friends.
No, I have not.
Please share.
Here's my resolution for 2015. As you may know, in Dota, I pretty much only play the hardest carries that are in the game.
What?
You'll go, hey, I'm going to play Spectre, and then they'll draft something, and you're like, I'm going to play Medusa
It's Medusa
instead.
time. Really switching it up. And the reason I do that is because nothing is really easier than just farming for a long time and getting strong and then fighting when you're an overwhelming force.
Yeah, you love being the AFK guy and then coming out of the woods going, ha ha,
What's
you're
up,
all
everyone?"
dead.
Yeah, that's true. But that's not really making me better. And it's also sort of limiting what my team can play.
Yep.
Because if I play Spectre, I pretty much need a tri-lane. I need 2 supports in my lane. And there we go. There's 3 of our 5 people in one lane already. And so not only am I kind of holding back from what my team can play, but I'm also not playing carries who can get aggressive in the mid game. Well, Spectre can, but anyway, yeah, there are carries who peak in the mid game and then slowly fall off, rather than just slowly keep going up. And I should try that more because that's going to make me play in different ways and lose in different ways, but see why I lost. And I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, we've had the tri-lane for way too long.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of that lately. I didn't even think about that, but
So much tri-lane.
well, I think the part of it is because like we play with a very set group of people a lot of the time. We have a
Yeah.
reliable group of like 5 to 10 people we play with a lot. And what that means is we end up playing a lot with like me and Arthur wanting to support. And we inevitably go top lane to help you in the radiant or the dire jungle because we can like stack camps for you and we can harass people out of lane for you. But maybe it's time for someone to go into an off lane position. Or to just roam, which is my resolution. I want to start roaming. I want to start getting mid-game kills early on. I want to, I mean...
More solo mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing people tell you, and this is like the big thing for me, is like people always tell you, the first thing you learn when you play Dota is like, don't feed.
Yeah.
Like, I want to die less. I want to start being aware of what I'm doing wrong, which 100% of the time is positioning. I'm always like way too close to a fight by the time it starts, or when it's happening, I'm like, oh, I'll get in there and help, guy. Oh, I'm dead.
Yep.
So...
I have 600 HP.
I just want to get better at knowing where I am and where I should be at a given point in time. I want to, like, if that means hanging back and not really contributing anything, and like, except like popping a mechanism and walking away.
What's up,
like,
guys?
That's fine. Like, I would rather not die than risk, trying to get a kill and dying and contributing nothing in the end.
Can I make a little, what's it called? What are those things in
Addendum?
the Constitution? I mean, that works too.
Sure,
I was
I
going to say
don't know.
amendment, but let's do that.
Oh,
What if...
footnote.
Also, if I do want to play those hard carries, what if I build them in the ways that lets them get active earlier rather than just like AFK
Yeah,
farming?
yay. No
I think it
more
depends on the hero, right?
babysitting.
Like somebody
Sure.
something.
It's just like you'll
Spectre
see
can't-
PA and they'll be like, Battle Fury, bye, I'm in the jungle. Well,
Yeah.
no, she can actually do a bunch early.
she
if
can
you
get
build her
kills.
that
Yeah,
way.
for sure.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you're the type of person that just farms all game and doesn't join team fights.
No,
until
that's
you're
not true.
big.
I do join team fights.
He joins
Okay.
team fights when we're like, Brian, help, and he hits R, and Spectre comes in and
Yeah, Spectre
kills
can-
everything.
Okay.
She can just appear next to any enemy whenever she wants.
I had a game last night where
So-
guy just refused to join team, like literally team fight right about dragon. We're about to try and take dragon. We're losing really badly, and the ADC's like, I need blue, and he leaves the team fight
I hate
in the
that
middle
so much.
No.
and goes and gets
Oh,
blue buff. And I'm like, what are you doing with your life? Like,
I need that 30 gold over there.
Yeah.
I'll be right there. No,
I
you
need the
won't.
buff while the team gets their 4th stack of dragon. I'm like,
Hang on,
you-
just let me go to the shop. No,
no, just
please help.
Stay.
drove me angry.
That's the
Drove me
worst.
angry. Drove me
Yeah,
insane.
I buy Boots of Travel, which lets you teleport to any creep on the map or any tower. I buy that earlier than most people because I don't want to just be in the jungle farming when stuff
Yeah.
goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I like you mentioned roaming. That's been really impactful for me lately in games. Like, hey, I'm like 1 or 2 kills ahead. I'm gonna go pop down in mid lane and just hopefully wreck that guy's life
Yep.
and then go back up. And it's pretty good.
The problem for me is like I just never know, and we've talked about this probably way too long at this point. We should move on, but I never know whether it's worth it or not when I get there. Like I don't know if just harassing a mid laner out of lane is good enough, or if like I should stick around until we get the kill, or what the that trade off for me not being in lane or really accomplishing anything is hard for me to understand. So I just need to figure that out.
For me, what I do is I take a look at like the CS difference between the two mid laners.
I
And
can't see the enemy CS. I can't even see
Oh.
Brian's CS.
Oh, okay.
I can
so it's
ask, but I
Dota.
can't see it.
Yeah, it's just for me. It's like even if you don't kill him, you're gonna starve him out of the. Well, you guys can deny kills, but you're
Yeah.
gonna starve him out of the CS and the gold, which is impactful for the mid laner if
You
you can take
guys.
advantage of it. You people. Yeah.
So that's our resolutions. We want to know yours. Let us know in the comments of IGN or youtube.com/IGN-arena, where you can subscribe to the series, as well as email us at arenapodcast@ign.com. Let us know what you want to improve. I want to start reading more emails this year. That's my New Year's resolution for this show. Read some emails.
Hey.
So send us emails.
Yours.
arenapodcast@ign.com. We're going to start reading a lot more of your letters. Those letters are going to drive a lot of the conversations. Moving on, Brian Albert.
What's up?
Just kidding. I'm going to turn to Kyle first. And Miranda, because you guys both play League of Legends. I want to know, 2015, looking ahead at the full year, I'm going to just throw this pen. Last year was a big, big year for League of Legends. Lots of new heroes, lots of new, champions. Lots of new modes,
Yeah,
lots
get
of
it right.
lots of changes. My bad. What do you want and what do you expect out of League of Legends in 2015? Like, what do you want from that game?
I got
Do you
one.
want anything
I got
new?
One. I got one. I know.
Okay,
I want
hit
team
me.
builder in ranked. That would be
Ooh.
so
Support
good. Yeah.
request.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I know the challenge is, well, what about the ban and pick phase? Then I think you should, when you queue up, you just say, I'm queuing up as support. That's what I want to be. Or you give like a top 3, like, I think Evolve does this. Like, you're like, I want to play support, but if support isn't there.
Yeah, it's tiered, right? Like,
Yeah.
first is support, then I want
Weighted,
Assault,
yeah.
then I want a Trapper.
Yeah, so if they could do that in League of Legends, that would be amazing. That would solve so many toxicity issues in ranked games. I've had ranked games where I join and they're like, hey, mid lane or feed. Like,
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's
like
common.
the MOBA thing.
Yeah.
Mid or feed. Yeah.
and that drives me nuts.
I don't understand the fascination with mid.
I don't either.
Mid's fine.
It's the rockstar position.
Why
Yeah,
do
it's
you
a
wanna be
glamour
by
role,
yourself?
definitely,
I
yeah.
don't get. I like having my buddy, my
I-
lane buddy.
I guess, but I like being able to be like, Miranda, go get that guy and we'll kill him together. Like, that's way cooler than,
Yeah.
like, I right-clicked him and he left.
What it makes me angry when chat people are like, oh, you had to bring people to come kill me. I'm like, this is a team game. Like, what don't you get about this?
Like,
Like,
yeah, dude, and it worked.
Yeah,
That used to be the thing back in old school Dota. Is like someone would get rolled and they're like 1v1 me, and I'm like, that's not Dota.
Yeah.
What is this?
This
You don't
isn't
1v1 Dota. Like, why?
this isn't a deathmatch game. Like, what do you
Yeah.
think is going on? And then I don't know. Seeing team builder in rank would make me really, really, really happy.
Mhm.
What about you?
I am excited to see what specialty modes they bring in. Like
Uh-huh.
that's my favorite thing about League. Is just like
Yeah, you like the
special
Earth.
modes. The Earth.
Earth, ultra
Yeah.
rapid fire.
I like
Yeah.
Poro King.
I
more
want
than
that
Earth.
back. I need that back.
As a permanent mode.
No.
No,
The
they
thing
want
that makes
to
it.
keep it like the McRib. You want the McRib.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give it
okay.
a
Like an
McRib.
annual thing, yeah.
Yeah. McRib of League of Legends. Ultra rapid fire. Perfect in every way, and I want it back just for a little bit, just so I can get that taste, and then I'll see it next year.
You realize, oh, it's not actually that good. Get it out of here, and then I'll come back next year.
It's amazing. It's amazing. No,
Do you
really,
want-
no.
Are we talking about McRib or Earth right now?
No,
Yes.
McDonald's is gross. So.
False. But, I mean, true. But also no. Anyway,
McDonald's is delicious.
and
You guys-
also terrible.
No.
This
No,
is-
But also the
no.
best.
No.
Stop. No.
right.
Like once a year, I have a craving to go get McDonald's, and I go get it, and
Chicken
I eat it, and
nuggets.
I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever eaten, and then I don't eat it again for a whole year.
Like, it doesn't even taste good to you.
No,
Oh, my God.
it tastes
Norm.
good to you.
Yes.
It tastes
Oh,
delicious
yeah. Yes.
McDonald's is okay.
No.
What is happening?
Do you guys have gaming food, like gaming snacks?
No.
You guys don't have like
No, no,
something
no, no.
specific you want to?
No, I
drink or
specifically, especially when playing MOBAs, like, I specifically don't eat. If I'm in a
I
League
like
of Legends
beer.
game, I'm like,
I just drink a
Oh,
lot
yes.
of beer.
What?
Yeah, I don't even do like the listen to music when you're playing the game thing.
I can't do
Oh,
it.
I do that.
I do
No,
that.
I used to. I
Get me
can't do it
pumped
anymore.
Up for a game, like yeah,
Get
bro,
hype.
this one.
I gotta have hot Cheetos or something sour.
What?
What?
Yeah.
That is insanely
I
specific.
don't, the
Hot
second one I don't care
Cheetos?
about.
Hot
What's
Cheetos, yeah.
Something sour.
Microwave Cheetos?
No.
What?
like-
No. like
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
See?
how do you make
No!
a
How did you
temperature?
not know what
like
these
spicy
are?
flavored Cheetos.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
Flaming hot
There are
Cheetos.
multiple flavors.
Dude.
What?
What
Spicy
is
Cheetos
going
are
on?
legit.
How do you guys
You guys
not
don't
know?
know what flaming hot Cheetos are?
No.
I mean,
Something's
I
wrong
guess
here.
it
I'm
makes
leaving.
sense that they would exist. Spicy Cheetos.
How do you? It's finger food though, right? It's like regular
it's-
Cheetos.
They're Cheetos.
That doesn't
They're
like.
in the vending machine.
Yeah, but that doesn't like. Oh,
For
they're
a
right here.
quarter.
Yo, here,
yeah,
Oh,
for a
okay.
quarter.
That's weird.
I saw your
that
hand go
doesn't,
over your
like-
pockets looking for a quarter.
Yeah. No, that doesn't bug you to like pick up food with your hands and then touch your keyboard and.
Oh,
I
I can't do it.
usually do it if I'm dead,
Uh,
and then
I
I'll
can't
and
do
then
it.
I'll.
I can-
Like, I can't
afterwards.
eat
You
and
did a
play.
lot,
I can
Kyle.
drink
What?
soda and play
Not
or
really.
drink beer.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
I can
forget-
drink and
Yeah.
play.
I have a
but-
coffee or a beer and forget it's there the entire time.
Yeah,
I'm in the
I
match.
do
Oh, I
that.
don't.
Yeah, it's
No.
weird. Like after
I want to be more like
after
you in 2015.
Yeah.
come out of the submerging in this tub of water that is Dota, I'm like, oh, like coffee.
Oh, I brewed
And
this
it's
6
cold.
hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want from
Sorry
League
to
of Legends in
derail it.
2015,
What do I want
Ryan?
from League of Legends?
Yeah.
Wow.
To
Because
play
we
it.
we talk we talk hypothetically about playing it more. What would you want from that game as someone who plays a lot of Dota?
Have we talked about why it's so hard for us to play multiple MOBAs at the same time, like extensively?
No, go and
We
we
should
can
do that.
or we can turn it into a topic later.
Okay. I'm gonna touch on that really quick.
Okay, and I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget it.
Here's what I don't like about learning MOBAs. I don't like the period of time where all it is I'm like, okay, that purple guy, he can freeze me in a bubble. Okay, now I know that. Like I don't like getting up to that base level of knowledge.
Learning the champ skills.
Yep. Like
yeah.
oh, he has this
Yeah.
this item that shoots lightning out whenever I hit him. Oh,
Yeah,
that sucks.
well, especially because you're a victim of it the whole time. Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the burden of
Yeah,
knowledge
I
falling on the
hate that
victim. It's
part,
awful.
And I'm past it in Dota. I'm well past it to the point where I
Yeah.
can start thinking about how all those things work.
You don't want to
together.
do that in a Zomba?
No, I understand that League is great, and I would love it if I played it
Yeah.
more. But like, I have to get to that point, and I know how long that took in Dota.
Yeah. That's my.
Just play
That
ARAM.
is my hindrance.
ARAM is so fun.
Get to
As well-
ARAM and then you're good. Like
Yeah.
honestly, that's the best way to learn new
Yeah.
champions is ARAM, and I want to get. That's my kind of my resolution for League this year is to get away from ARAM because that's all I do.
All random, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
all
random,
random,
all
all
mid.
mid.
Got
It's
it.
one lane.
I was
Yes.
like, ARAM. It's interesting.
perfect.
Sounds a lot like all random. I just want to confirm that is what it is.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's like
I also have the
Super quick.
issue, and you touched on it on your article about Dota changing your life. But every game, not just other MOBAs, but every other game I play, I measure in how many games of League I could have played in the time I spent.
It's a
playing that
legitimate, like, it's kind of a problem.
Yeah,
The way I
yeah.
think about other games now. Like, I value their worth in Dota time.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, like Miranda and I want to play Game of Thrones, Telltale Game of Thrones. It's like,
you
it's
gotta
like-
play it together because you don't want to play that twice.
that's like two games of Dota. Okay, well, sure. Dragon Age, it's like 100 games of Dota.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I can't.
Yeah, no,
Can't
that's
do
not
it.
happening.
Like, anytime I can play a game with somebody else, like, oh, you're gonna play Game of Thrones? Oh, cool, I'll watch you. Like, now I don't have to play it. I can just, like, take that in, and now we can just go play Dota.
Yeah.
So that's
That's you.
I
and-
didn't even say what I want from League.
No,
I
you
want to
didn't
get
really.
past that point.
Yeah, but I also I'm with you, but I also just don't want to play it to have to get there. Like I just want to know.
You want the knowledge.
just
without
want to
the-
know.
You want the knowledge to like osmosis
Give
into
me,
your
just
brain.
give me that baseline.
I've-
I'll go from there.
I have a very specific goal in League of Legends, and this is like separate from what I want from the game and more like what I want from me in League of Legends. Like by the end of 2015, I want to know in the same way I could from top to bottom list every single Dota hero. I want to be able to do that for League. Like I want to know enough about the game that I can identify on site every single hero. Like that's all I want to know about League in 2015. I want to get to that point
Interesting.
because then I'll feel good about the game. Like I will feel good about my knowledge of the game at that point. By the time I could identify like, oh, like that little purple blob is Spectre, like I can tell by the portrait who's who. Like by that point I felt really confident in my knowledge of the game and the heroes and the skills.
Just curious, do you think in Dota that you know all the skill? Maybe not like by name and cooldowns and stuff, but you know every skill for every hero?
No, there are many passives in which I have no
Okay,
idea what they do.
okay.
Yep.
Yesterday I learned that the Q and the W on Warlock are completely different.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I was like, what are these skills the same? I don't get it. Like, oh, okay, they're kind of different. Yeah, 2015 for League of Legends, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I would want from that game as someone who only plays it casually. Because what it has is, like, totally satisfactory for me right now. But, yeah, like you're saying, like, more modes, cool things that I can do aside from ARAMs and aside from ranked matchmaking and stuff.
Yeah, I know they're gonna have it. I'm just excited to see what they're gonna have.
Yeah.
So, because they're always super fun. I always
Yep.
sign on for those.
Would you want them to last, like, stick around longer, or
No.
do you like how they?
I like they're
it's-
usually
how-
like 2 weeks.
It's a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, like 2 weeks or so, maybe a little bit longer. And that's perfect. It's enough time to schedule time to get into it and to learn it and to play a few games and then be done with it. So
You know what I want? I got it. I know what I want from League of Legends 2015.
Drop
And
it.
I know that Riot is not into this, but I want to be able to contribute to the success of esports on the League of
Oh.
Legends side.
Ooh.
Like
That would
in the
be
same way I
nice.
can buy a compendium for Dota 2, or I think Counter-Strike does this too, right? Like you can buy a map pack or something and it goes toward a pool.
Yeah, so community design maps
Yeah.
are approved, and then like I don't know, you can design a map, but if it's not good, it's not going to make this next pool. But if it does
Yeah.
make the pool, it's officially released as part of a map pack, which you can pay for, and the proceeds go to like the game itself or like future tournaments or the
Yeah.
designers. It's actually a really cool thing.
I would
And
love
then
it
you get
if
a
League
neat little
adopted that.
coin, and it
I have
goes on
an
your
idea.
profile. That's cool.
Nice.
I have an idea how they
What's
could
your
do
idea?
it. They should release original skins with palette swaps that then a portion of that goes toward a prize pool. because
That could work.
there's a lot. I've heard a lot of people say like, "Oh, I love the original skin. I just wish we could palette swap." And if they did that, and then they let a portion of that go towards the prize pool, that would be pretty cool. Because I think your idea is right. Like, that's one thing when everyone's like, "Oh, League versus Dota," they're like, "Oh yeah, but look at Dota's prize pool." And
Yeah. I don't
usually
know. It's sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they gotta let the community help.
Yeah.
I mean, people would
People want to.
People
Yeah.
would want to, yeah, and that would be awesome for the esports teams that win that.
I just think
Yeah,
Riot
that's
worries about
important.
copycatting Valve, like looking like
Right.
they're copycatting.
I just,
When
it
who
just doesn't.
cares?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a
Whatever.
concern you
Yeah.
should have when the genre is so large. It's like first-person shooters aren't like, well, I don't want to have to aim down the sight a certain way because Call of Duty does it that way. And it's like that's ridiculous.
Okay. Sean, 2015 Counter-Strike Go. What do you need from that game? What are you looking forward to?
So, because the game,
That's a sad little microphone.
It is. You have to like hold it up. It's
I
great.
apologize if it sounds like I'm wiggling
Oh
the whole
God,
time.
that
I'm
probably
doing,
did it
great.
better,
I'm doing my
yeah.
best not to do that. What I want from it, I want 128 tick servers in ranked matchmaking.
I thought you were just gonna say like 128 million dollars.
Oh, no, yeah, that would be awesome. I do want that
Bro
too.
money.
Not exactly
wanna
CS:GO
change
related,
mine.
but one of the things that really bugs a lot of competitive players is just like the registry on servers in matchmaking isn't as good as it could be. And Valve has addressed this before, and they say that the majority of CS:GO players play it at a really, really low like frame rate and really low settings because their computers are just overall pretty
Whoops.
pretty
Oh.
bad.
Beep.
31-16.
And but this affects players who are playing on nice machines and have really good connections because some of your shots won't register or you'll have bullets go right through someone. And with higher registry rates, like with a higher command rate and a higher like update rate, that is an issue that's totally solved. And you see this in ESEA and ESL, like all of the actual major tournaments. All of them are 128 tick servers or higher. Currently in CS:GO for ranked matchmaking, it's 64 tick, which is like the minimum acceptable standard. I would love to see it go up to 128. I think that would be a huge deal, and a lot of players. That would make a lot of players really,
think-
really happy.
Do you think that's feasible?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Like, I understand the position that Valve has taken last year, which was that most players don't need 128 tick, is probably not true anymore. Like, the audience for that game has grown like 4 or 5 times over since last year. You see it in the Twitch streams. Like, it's now one of the top.
It had a weird
viewed
explosion
games.
in
Yeah,
terms
Yeah,
of
like
being-
a couple
huge
months ago, right?
explosion. Yeah, well, over this past year.
Yeah, it's like
The-
the last 6 months really.
It went from like 50,000 players a night to like 450
That's-
or 500,000.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
over the last year.
I think it's because they started adding like the map pack stuff. And the
Yeah,
gun
the map pack
skins, and
stuff, the
They started adding
skins,
Dota hats.
yeah.
Is what they did.
Skins were a big deal. There's a lot of people out there who play the game casually, but they're big like marketplace traders. Like they like to collect skins and trade them because some of those skins are really, really valuable. Like a couple $100. I mean, per skin, which
Doesn't
is
it have
crazy.
stickers?
Yeah, so pro players and tournaments have
God.
like
Yeah.
souvenir stickers that you can only get during that time of the tournament, and they're really valuable. A lot of the modding and community stuff has really just bolstered people's interest in the game, which is really cool. So with all those people playing the game, it'd be great to give them a game that works. When you shoot people,
Yeah.
the bullets hit them.
That'd be great. To
Sounds
that
romantic.
end,
Yeah,
That's pretty important.
speaking of the success of that game in 2015, I want from CS:GO the equivalent of their international. I want there to be the big Valve-funded, sponsored, driven tournament, like the thing
would be
that
really
is
cool.
the pros.
I wonder how that would work because there's already a couple really like well-known established CS:GO tournaments
Yeah.
that, and much like the fighting game community, they're CS:GO is very grassroots. Like they like the idea that they've been doing these tournaments on their own successfully for a long time without like external sponsorship
Right.
opportunities
Without
or
the
anything like
man
that.
bringing
Even though there
them
are a lot
down.
of sponsors involved already. I don't think people would be apprehensive about something like that, especially because, if it's Valve backing it and there's money to be involved, then you're going to see your favorite teams and your favorite players, and that's cool for everyone. But I also think like ESL and ESEA and DreamHack, like these are huge CS:GO tournaments on their own. Another one wouldn't hurt, but it
Yeah.
could possibly detract a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know, like with Dota, we just saw such an amazing spike in interest in player retention, in the amount of money that it made, that I feel like an international style event for CS:GO could really elevate that game again. We saw 2014 was the year that Dota really, really got big. It didn't have a lot of time in 2013 to do that. 2014 it exploded. Around the time of the international, the player base went up huge. It stayed really high. It you just saw more activity in that game and more interest.
Totally. I would
And
love
then-
to see that for CS:GO.
That'd be great.
I think money is the thing that you pointed out there that CS:GO is currently lacking.
Mhm.
Is like the prize pools aren't that big.
Sure.
If they were bigger, I think that would encourage a lot more players and tournaments to kind of get the best teams in the world to come play, because now there's a reason for them to go. Whereas before, you could sit at home, get paid your salary, play with your team, and boot camp for the really big tournaments, which make a difference. And if you win that one, then why would I have even played the other ones, right?
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
if they all have a significant amount of chunk of change to be earned, then sure, that would be awesome. And in that regard, like if the international of CS:GO is a big prize pool, then it can only help the
Yeah.
community.
Also, less cheating, please.
That was the second thing that I was going to say, which is a little bit more. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't say it's selfish. A lot of players out there want a better VAC system, which is the CS:GO like hacking detection system. I don't know what it stands for. VAC. VAC.
It's Valve anti-cheat.
Yeah, there you go.
Vacuums and
is-
Cheetos.
It doesn't seem
Cheetos.
seem to work all that
My
well
bad.
in Counter-Strike Go. There's a significant amount of hacking going on in that game, particularly at the lower levels, which is the worst place you want it to be because that's where all the noobs are. And nothing is worse than coming in like, hey, I'm really stoked to play Counter-Strike for the first time. Oh, I'm gonna get wrecked by someone who doesn't have walls in their game. Like,
Great.
It's
That's gonna be
the
me.
worst.
Aw.
That's kind of been an issue with Counter-Strike for a while, though, right?
Yeah, and I don't know why exactly.
Wall
Like I've
hacks,
had this
map
discussion with a lot of different people. No one can give me a direct answer, or no one can give me an answer that's really compelling, and they're all very different. Which is like, Dota is made by Valve, like Counter-Strike's made by Valve. Like, why is it so much easier to hack Counter-Strike than it is to hack Dota? And no one has an answer for that.
I don't think I've seen a single instance of someone cheating in Dota. At least nothing that I could detect.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Me
I
neither
can't even
in
think of
League.
like, oh, that happened for like most of the time. It's like I just don't understand why that happened because I lack the knowledge. Not he did something that's impossible.
Right.
That's wrong.
With League, I've seen like weird bots, but it's completely different. It's not
Hmm.
hacking, it's just bots.
I haven't even seen bots.
Really? I've seen them in an ARAM and they're the weirdest thing.
What do they do?
They just like run forward and they'll just like start attacking the objective, but they'll kind of just skip. Sometimes they'll just skip creeps and they'll go straight to the tower.
What is
and
the
they'll just
benefit of
die.
that? Why does
I
that
don't know.
exist?
Just experience. They want to
Yeah,
get the account to
they'll-
30.
Yeah, they'll get to the account super high and then they'll sell it.
And they
Yeah.
have no kills and
It's
a
the
billion
worst.
deaths.
Yeah, and so if you get one on your team, it's like you might as well have someone just like AFK or something.
Great.
Cool.
It's the worst. Yeah,
Looking
game's
ahead
fun,
to 2015, Miranda, tell me what you want from Dota 2.
from Dota 2.
That's a game you play a lot. It's a game we play a lot together.
Yeah.
2015 is going to be a big year. 2014 saw probably the most significant changes that game has seen since launch, since it became Dota 2, as opposed to just Dota. But what do you want out of it in 2015 now that you've like spent a lot of time with it?
I want a different, smaller map.
Ooh.
One singular different map. So
You
you
want
can
Like an
have-
ARAM style.
like an
thing.
ARAM, like an ARAM or something different. They can make
Twisted
their own
tree
thing.
line.
Yeah, like
You guys don't
3v3,
have
something,
3v3.
anything. Just
It's
something
one
different
map.
from 5. Yeah,
I didn't know
I
that.
want something different.
I think you'll get that in the creation tools are out right now, right?
Yeah.
And the people are somebody's making Summoner's Rift in Dota,
Yeah.
and I can't like that's gonna be awesome. I will totally play that, just to see what it's like. I don't know, like that map with Dota Heroes sounds kind of awesome, but they're making it like down to the pixel. They're replicating that map.
So odd. There's no elevation in that map.
No high ground of any kind.
Wow.
Weird.
No, that's weird. That,
I can't
no,
process
no.
it.
Wait,
Just
there's no
see
high
stuff.
ground in what game?
League.
League.
Only into the fountain, or the
Okay.
the well.
That's
whatever.
so weird.
Are
High
there
ground is like
steps
a
up to
big
your-
deal in Dota. Well, it's
Yeah.
a big deal in any RTS.
That's why they added it to
Right.
Dota.
But does it impact the gameplay
Yes.
in Dota?
It
Yes.
impacts
Yeah.
vision. It impacts your
Yeah, you're
percentage.
you're less
chance
likely
to
to
hit.
push over a hill if you think that there's like a bunch of people
Yeah.
sitting
So
at
that
the
someone
top
on
of
the
it.
top of the hill
Like
has
if, you,
longer
if you're
range?
2 feet away from someone and they're elevated and you're below them, you can't see them.
You can't see them, and you might miss when
Your
you
attacks
attack
have
them.
a chance to
Yeah.
miss as well if you have vision
Oh.
of them.
We have like areas like the Dragon Pit and
Yeah.
Baron Pit, but that's just vision. There's no
Yeah.
like
Right.
strategic.
Yeah, this is like going into the dire jungle.
Mm-hmm.
It's elevated, so if you cross the river and you go into the jungle, like you are going in even more blind than you were.
Is only the dire
in
side
West.
elevated?
No.
Oh, I was
No,
gonna say that
there's
seems
elevation all over the map. They're like
Just
I don't know,
random.
like three
different points.
to 4 levels total of like height variance, including the fountain.
Man, yeah, you're right. Wow.
I don't know if I
It's
would
like
want that
river.
in
It's like
League.
5 with the.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway,
League the way it is.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I would want that in League.
Yeah, wow. It's like river, lane, secret shop, high ground, fountain.
yeah,
5.
something like that. And there are
Crazy. Is that it? Just one map?
Yeah, that's all I asked for.
Like an official Valve, here's our new map. It's here
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
Not just like, here's a dumb new mode with Wraith Knight that's super fun that goes
I want a
away 2 minutes later.
permanent
Why do you want it?
Because I want to play something different. So I love playing 5-stack with you guys, playing ranked, whatever. And finally, people are playing All Random Deathmatch with me. Finally.
I will totally play that with you. Yes.
Finally, people are playing that, which is great because
Deathmatch Dota.
Dude, it's awesome.
that-
All Random
Like-
Deathmatch is
You
your
die,
team
you respawn randomly.
as somebody
as a
else.
new hero.
Yes. You keep
But,
your
like,
items.
not in the fountain, like somewhere random on the.
No.
Oh, okay.
You spawn in your fountain as a new hero, but you don't know
With
who.
the same items and in levels.
So if you
That sounds
buy,
interesting.
if
It's
you're like
fun.
Yeah.
running over people as like a carry and you bought a Daedalus, now it's like, oh, I respawn as Dazzle and I have a Daedalus. What am I gonna do with this critical hit?
Yep,
You're gonna carry Dazzle, man.
Yep.
it can happen.
Back in the day, Dazzle I used to play him as a carry.
Wow.
Dazzle
like in
mid is a
original.
viable thing, or at least
There
was.
you go. Yeah.
You
Me?
guys are very subtly luring him back in.
What do I want from 2015 Dota? I want fewer tournaments.
Yeah.
There are way
You and
too many
Envy both.
tournaments now. Like every day there are people playing something of some sort, and there's like the amateur teams, and that's fine. Like they can do what they want, but the big ones that the big teams are invited to, they're just getting like burnt out and tired, and the tournaments don't feel like they mean anything anymore. And what's going on is people actually will really want to buy tickets for tournaments if they come with items. It's not so much about like who's there, what's going on. I would prefer like the international, of course, and then maybe like huge markers along the way. Like
Summit, ESL.
yeah, like DreamHack or,
Yep.
or Starlight or whatever, like spaced out a little bit. But yeah, some teams like you see the players talk to each other, and they're like, "Oh, we beat you," and they're like, "No, we're gonna play you again next week for like this another $50,000 pool, like whatever." Like no one really cares.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. When you're watching like high stakes Dota, it's so exciting. And now I buy these tickets because they come with items. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm with you.
compendiums.
Like I was looking at the D2L thing and I'm like, oh, it comes with that like cool void weapon. Maybe I'll buy it.
Exactly right.
I bought the Canada Cup ticket because it came with Bearski, and I was like, I watched
You guys
one
are such
game.
Nerds.
Yeah, dude.
I've never bought anything. Like even in Counter Strike, I don't buy skins ever.
Wow.
Not even stickers.
I buy
No.
skins.
In fact, I hate stickers. They make the guns.
Stickers
look
are so
tacky.
dumb.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get like a bajillion stickers. I'm so excited.
Sean's
Oh
just
my
looking at her
God.
like,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy all the stickers.
I buy skins.
I really love stickers.
Like I got very lucky early on, and I got a couple drop because like they randomly drop at the end of game skins in Counter Strike, and so you also randomly get cases. But like,
Yeah.
I got a couple lucky drops that are like really cool skins for that gun, and I've just had them ever since, and I don't ever buy them or trade them. People are like, "Yo, let me get that skin." I'm like, "No, dude." And that's kind of the end of it.
that happened to me. I had some Team Fortress earbuds, which are apparently pretty rare.
Because you installed the game on a Mac.
Yep.
Yeah.
For in like a window of a week.
Yep.
Like 5 years ago or whatever. I traded them away, but it was early on in my Dota career, and so I probably traded them for something that's not very good, which makes me sad because I probably could have got more from them.
Did you ever see, oh man, Sean Vanneman, who's a developer at Campo Santo, they're making Firewatch. He got an IM on Steam. He talked about this on the Idle Thumbs podcast. He got an IM on Steam from somebody who wanted his Mac headphones. And he was just totally messing with the guy like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really willing to sell them. He's like, well, I'll trade them. He's like, I don't really want to trade them. I'm not going to do anything with them, though. And the guy was, like, desperate to get them. And he's like, I think I'll just destroy them. Like, I'll just right-click and hit destroy. And the guy was, like, begging Sean not to do it. And he posted the whole IM conversation. It's magical.
no.
This, like, poor, sad guy who's like, please, just, you're not even going to use them. Just let me buy them off you, dude. It was great.
That's cruel.
It is.
What do you want from Dota?
I know that we talked a lot about Nemesis Assassin being a really dumb event, and it was, but I want more of them. I want more events like that. More events that show up, like every other month would be nice to show up, to go to the blog and see like a big update with a new mode, a new hero, a new combination of those things, a new way to interact with Dota, but also to have that as its own separate queue. Like, I don't want a Nemesis Assassin style event in regular matchmaking. Because it totally affects the way that I play Dota. Like, I just want to go in and play a normal game of Dota. If I want to go in and start assassinating people, great. Make that its own mode. So more things like that, but separately.
So you couldn't queue for that event specifically?
The event was part of normal matchmaking.
That sounds terrible.
And that's why it was awful, because it was a cool event, but you queue with 5, and you're like, all right, let's just
And then
play
you
Dota.
have to have that
It's like, oh, this is just
that
happening
skin
now.
or pack. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the 10 players had to have the skin.
And somebody
And-
always did.
Yep.
And people would abandon games if you didn't, like,
didn't play their
play
way.
the appropriate
If you
characters to create the event within
yeah,
that
someone
game.
picked the assassin, but not one of the contract heroes. That some people would just quit out of it.
Yeah.
It should not be mixed in with regular matchmaking.
Yes.
That just sounds terrible.
It was a mess.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Oh, but the mode was so fun. Just not.
It
in
was
matchmaking.
cool, but I just
Yeah.
sometimes didn't want to play with it.
I just don't understand the logic on not giving you the ability
Yeah.
to queue for that.
So more
It's to
stuff like
make you
that.
Jelly.
Like,
when you don't have that skin.
What's
Yeah.
that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Peanut butter and jealous.
But we're seeing what's the Chinese New
Thank
Year
you,
event
guys.
that I can't remember the name of.
I don't know the
New
full name.
Bloom.
Everyone just says
New Bloom.
Oh, right.
So New Bloom is happening in the spring with Chinese New Year. I don't know if it's going to be the same event as it was last year with the Year Beast because everyone was kind of down on that. But I like that they're coming back with that event. I like the idea of annual events. It really bothers me that Valve tried out a couple and are like, we don't want to do those. When they were cool, they were fun. They had meaning to the players. And they, didn't do Frostfist last year. They didn't do the Halloween thing, Dire Tide. They didn't do Dire Tide
Right.
2 years in a row. And they knew that it was a
That's
mistake.
kind of a joke. If you say like Dire Tide or Frostbite, you're like, oh, is it coming this year?
Yeah.
You don't know.
And I don't want that to be the case. I want Valve to be reliable. Like I would love for there to be.
You want Valve to have scheduled things. That they
Yeah,
stick
I would
to?
love for there to be consistency in Dota 2. Is what I'm saying. Good
The only
luck.
thing Valve's consistent with is
Being inconsistent.
other than putting out great games, Steam sales.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want more ways to interact with Dota 2, I guess. And like you were asking for a new map, like I would love that. I would love to have new maps, new modes fairly regularly, but also for that to not affect the core game.
But won't having new maps affect the core game? Like, isn't that kind of the definition?
I think it gives you
Dilutes the player
options.
pool.
No, because
I
I would
think
like
that's probably the issue.
I would like to queue into a regular game without, a new map or a character event affecting, the 5v5 mode.
Because they did in Heroes of New Earth. There was a bunch of new maps like designed for 3v3 and stuff like that. There was like a mid-only map lane, and like no one played them. Everyone was like, "This is just not Han," which is the same thing that people would say like, "This isn't Dota if it was 3v3."
And
or
we
something
did
like
say that when Nemesis Assassin was happening because it was getting in the way of us just playing regular Dota.
I get what you're saying. Like, I wouldn't want to play like strategic Dota, but now it's 3v3 instead
Yeah,
of 5v5.
like it's a
I
different
wouldn't
game,
play
right?
That.
Yeah.
But like the one lane thing is just like lighthearted and like almost more of a learning tool.
Yeah.
Or
It
a way to
is.
blow off
It's-
steam.
It's Teamfight 101.
It's
That's
just
what I
fun.
want.
You know how you solve
I
that?
don't get mad. I have fun.
Yes, and Wraith Knight was really good for that. And I
Yep.
really hope that this is the year where Valve introduces a permanent PvE 5-player co-op mode. Like, I would love to have, the 5 of us queue into a game, and it's just us, and there's no enemy heroes, or maybe there is, but they're, CPU controlled, and we just play a co-op thing.
Yeah.
Would love that.
Do you think they don't let you queue for these different modes or maps? And I don't want to make it a numbers game because of the whole League versus Dota thing, but
Sure.
the amount of concurrence on Dota at one time is a lot lower than League of Legends. So then because if you have all these separate like game modes,
Then
you
you're dividing.
Yeah, you
Right.
dilute the player pool into separate
Yeah.
sections.
It could be. Maybe that's why they're temporary modes instead of permanent, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want people to permanently play a separate mode less often than they would play the regular matchmaking mode more often.
Yeah, sorry to derail it from the Dota talk.
No,
I want
that's
to make
fine.
an amendment to the League thing. I'd like.
do it.
I'd
Okay,
also- I'd
that's fine.
also-
It'll be in the Dota breakout video, so I have to link
my
people to
bad,
that
guys.
too.
I'm sorry, Dota fans, but I'd really like League of Legends to have like a practice mode where it's like you can just sit in lane and it's just minions coming and you just practice CS every time. Just that's all you do is you practice CS.
Yeah, with like infinite health,
Infinite health, infinite
like,
mana, and
then you
just
can draw aggro and not die.
a
You
continual
could have
wave.
like variables that you can tweak.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
yeah,
That'd be good.
That'd be
Different
really good.
sliders,
Sorry,
Infinite
Dota
like
health.
guys.
little
Not
burgers,
infinite health.
infinite little burgers.
Yes, please. Where? Is that a restaurant?
I need lunch. Let's get out of here.
Infinite
Yeah,
little
I'm really
burgers.
hungry
I
right
would go
now.
there.
I'm about to eat the mic.
That's good. We talked a lot about 2015 in this show, y'all. It's gonna be a good year. We have lots of topics for next week, including Brian is gonna go see Smite. You're gonna play some Smite. You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
come
win
back.
the championship.
You're gonna win
I'm
$250
competing.
million.
Yeah.
Or $2.5 million.
$250 million.
$250 million.
competing?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Wait, is that true?
No.
Oh, I was like, whoa, hang on, what did I
You
miss?
let me down.
I didn't know that was part of the invite,
You have a
dude.
very
He's
convincing.
secretly amazing at Smite. Just
Yeah.
don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
He plays on his own all the time.
Keep
Fine,
an eye out on Brian's Twitter for updates as he's at the championships. He's at Albino Albert. I am at Mitchie. Kyle is at Kyle that Kyle. Miranda at Havoc Rose. Sean at I am Finnegan.
That's right.
Yes. Nailed it this time, y'all. You can email us. We are arenapodcast@ign.com. Send us your topic suggestions, questions, comments, feedback, anything you want to talk to us about. We're going to start integrating that more into the show this year.
Also, the Facebook group.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Facebook groups. I really like that.
Yes, it's a
like
place where
People are
people
cool.
go. They make
Cool
friends
people.
with other people. They
Yeah.
get groups together to play.
Everyone
Check
that's
that
pretty
out.
cool. I feel bad that we don't get to play with them more often.
Yeah, I get
lot of Dota
messages.
people
I
on
get
there.
messages a lot of time from other Mitch in that group who's like, "Yo, you want to play?" And I'm like, just queued for 5. Sorry,
Five
dude.
people. I
Yeah,
always have
every
5 people.
time. Yeah. So we're gonna start. We should probably do like a community night, like once a week or something, even if it's just a couple games.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
That'd be
learn
really
Dota that
fun.
way.
Because we
Change
have
up the
like,
games.
There
There
were
is-
plans for that on the Facebook group.
because there is an IGN group. Like they made an IGN group in Dota, and you go in there, there's like 10 people, and they're just hanging out like Google
Yeah, I
Play.
talk to them sometimes. It's on that. You make a separate chat talk. But yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that.
We should investigate the.
It's just hard
logistics
because
of this.
people were like not from the U.S. And so we're
Yeah.
like, 8 p.m. And they're like, actually, I'm
It's
sleeping.
4 a.m. Yeah. Sorry. Goodbye. Yeah, that's us. So search IGN Arena Podcast on Facebook. You'll find that group, no problem. We should probably find like a bit.ly link for that or something to make it easier in the
We should do
future.
that. Absolutely.
YouTube.com/IGN Arena. Subscribe to us here. We are, we post these episodes. We have trailers for other MOBAs, other esports things. We post a ton of stuff. Check out the Razor documentary series that came out recently.
I haven't gotten to watch that yet.
Me either. But it seems really cool. I hope it's good.
About which one?
Razor published a 3-part documentary series that was like StarCraft, League, and Dota.
Oh yeah, the League one
Right,
was
not
good.
Counter-Strike.
I enjoyed.
Oh,
The
you
League
watched
one.
it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So Kyle recommended.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely Kyle.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch that. Also, by this time next week, Dire Boys will be out. The EG documentary.
I totally forgot about that.
Yes. So
Dire Boys.
Monster is sponsoring a documentary about Evil Genius's Dota team.
Sounds like a band.
The teaser trailer for that was like really good. It had like no Dota gameplay at all. It was all about Peter Dagger, the captain of Evil Geniuses. So
PPD.
I'm hoping that it is very, very focused on the team and not so much about the game to make people like relate to them as human beings as opposed to video game people.
You mean people in the video game industry are humans?
Human?
Human?
Human? Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Hopefully we have time to watch it before we record.
Yeah, let's do that.
And we'll come back with that. Lots of topics on deck. Finnegan, I hope you join us soon. When there are...
What kind of straight talk?
You're bored.
We'll
Bored of
see.
Dota.
We'll see.
We're going to bring you back to Dota, and you're going to be on the show every week talking
Maybe
about
we can learn together because I think I played one match on the tutorial.
That's the thing is like I have a pretty because I played a ton of original Dota. I have a pretty decent base knowledge. It's all just
Yeah.
like updating it for the new meta and like
Yeah.
there's a couple heroes and stuff that I've never played.
And now
Or
we'd be
like,
like,
no.
don't play that guy. Also, this guy's new.
Yeah.
You've never played him because he's new.
A lot of the things that I kind of like whine about are just purely cosmetic. Like I like the art style of the Blizzard Dota better. Like I think the
Blizzard
hero
Dota.
designs are cooler.
I've actually never seen the Blizzard Dota. I don't think.
It's all Warcraft models. Like that's why I think it's cooler. Just because.
Like the War 3 stuff.
I thought
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
talking about Heroes of the Storm.
Oh
I
no,
thought
no,
you
no,
were
no,
like,
no,
Blizzard
no,
Dota.
no, no, like the Blizz, like the Dota that was built on Blizzard's
To be fair,
Warcraft engine. Yeah.
Their art style's amazing in that game.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I was just confused.
We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining me. Sean, Miranda, Kyle, Brian, thank you. Thank you for watching, listening, however you're doing this. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.